welcome to the ladies' dressing room. Today we are going to talk all about the shoes that I like to wear with my dresses. And I have such a variety of shoes. At one point I was wearing the same ballet flats all the time, but I really do like to switch things up, especially depending on what dress I'm wearing for the day or whatever my outfit looks like, or if I'm going to be walking, or all of that. And I will say that my choice in footwear has changed quite a bit over the years, and especially with dress shoes. So I have found the beauty of the kitten heel and just how comfortable they are. And it's really important to find shoes, I would say, comfort over anything. That of course is important, and depending on where you are, you know, what season of life you are in, this is not a comparison or anything. I think that when we're younger, we can get away with wearing certain, heels, for instance, that this day and age I definitely can't wear. I feel it more in my hips. I just don't feel like I can walk the same way as I could when I was younger. However, I have found that kitten heels are my best friend now, and it makes me feel pulled together and very elegant without feeling uncomfortable or like I'm going to trip. And learning how to walk in heels, that's another story, right? And I think that if you are going to wear heels, it's something that you should really educate yourself in and also practice quite often before you get out there in the real world, because it doesn't matter how beautiful your dress is if you do not know how to walk in heels. So maybe err on the side of caution, and if it's something that you're struggling with, then maybe pass them up. Look into kitten heels. And by kitten heels, those are the shorter ones. And I will even wear the itty bitty kitten heels, but they do range in sizes or in height. But as of right now, I feel like this is the height that, what is this? Is this like 2-inch heels? This may be a 2-inch heel. This is like pushing it to me. So I'll wear them, and they are definitely more comfortable than those ones that are really high, like 3.5-inch. That's just a no for me these days. And maybe I have some that are slightly higher than that, but this is like my max right now. This is my max, where it just feels comfortable enough. Maybe I'll be able to wear them for 2.5 hours, and then I'm done. So we have a limit on heel height. So I thought I would give you a little tour of where I keep most of my shoes. These aren't all of them, but this is how I like to store them and kind of display them. And it makes it easy to choose what shoes I want to wear with my outfit. So some of these are more special occasion. I also have my sparkly ones way up there. Those are the ones that I took on the cruise with me. I don't wear these all the time, and we all know about those special occasion shoes. These are like my Cinderella slippers right here, and I love these ones. I like the kitten heel. For most options today, I choose a kitten heel over anything, but these are a little higher than a normal kitten heel. These are the preference right here, and it's funny because this is my second pair of the white ones, because Thomas, my dog, chewed up, my daughter's dog I should say, chewed up my first pair, which I found at TJ Maxx, and these ones I was able to find these on Poshmark to replace the ones that I had. So that was quite the find. A lot of my shoes I've actually found on Poshmark, especially these came from Poshmark. These were a Poshmark find. Those, obviously, those are from Ross, I believe. I think those were from Ross. TJ Maxx, Amazon. I think TJ Maxx. Yes, those were TJ Maxx. Those were TJ Maxx as well. And those were Amazon. Poshmark. Tory Burch. These are probably the first pair that I've really, well, no, my husband purchased these for me for our anniversary when we were in Hawaii. So that was really nice of him. My daughter, who just loves Tory Burch, was so excited about that. I haven't had a good pair of nude pumps in a while. And so the other ones that I had were just way too high for me. So this is okay. I would say this is okay. I can get along fine in these for about 2.5 hours and then I'm done. But the kitten heels, those ones I can last all day in. So that's why I prefer them. And even these ones down here, they are just a little higher than I would like. But these ones, these are kitten heels. I wanted to share about lining with you, the lining of shoes. I don't know if you noticed this on a lot of the shoes today, but it's like the lining disintegrates. And that is so unfortunate. Even within here, the lining, well, just all of it. After I purchased these, and I purchased these on Poshmark, the lining looked beautiful, but as soon as I wiped it out, it just started to disintegrate when I put them on. It was really weird. So I was so sad about that because what's under here looked horrible. And what I ended up doing with these, because I thought, how can I salvage these? I ended up Mod Podging napkins, beautiful napkins that I had this napkin print and it was really pretty. I Mod Podged it on there to see if I could save them, and they were saved. So that was just a really neat thing to have been able to do. I don't know if I would be, I mean, I possibly could do it on the interior as well, but it's one of those things that I'm noticing in some of my other shoes that that's starting to happen too, and it's just so sad. But if you get Mod Podge, I think you would be able to save them if you notice that the lining is, you know, falling apart. So anyway, that's why the interior of these shoes looks like this. But what I wanted to share with you was that it's important to wash your shoes on the inside where the toes are. You may notice if you wear open-toed shoes that you can get a lot of, you know, dirt spots and whatnot on there. So just every once in a while, wetting a washcloth with some water. Maybe you might even want to use some alcohol, just some rubbing alcohol to clean some things off, especially the sticker on a shoe. Like if you purchase the shoe and it has the size sticker and it leaves a little residue, you'd want to get that off, because if you don't, then it can create a like a dirt spot there, especially after you wear it for a while. So these ones, my daughter found these for me at Ross one day, and I absolutely love these because they look so, I just love the dusty rose color that they are, but they look really nice, I feel, with my skin relatively. And it just blends in beautifully, which gives that, you know, ballet look. So for the most part, I like to go with a nude color, or what would be nude to me, or in that family of nudes, because I think that it really does a wonderful job of elongating the leg, as well as just not drawing too much attention to the feet. Now, whatever attention is drawn to the feet, I love for it to be lovely, you know, in little bows, very dainty shoes. I just always feel that Something that isn't too clunky is the way to go for me. And when I'm going walking, of course I'll wear tennis shoes to do that. But, you know, just to go to the store or out to brunch, or the common list of things that I say that where I'm going, I will wear some kitten heels. I like that. Or I do have some flats as well. And usually, and this is just for the spring and summer months, in the fall and winter, I will definitely wear closed-toed shoes, but I feel that I reach for these more often than not. And I used to wear sandals a lot, like T-strap sandals. I've had a couple, like, over the past year that they were great, but they have either the dog got to them or they broke or something. So I haven't been using those, but I actually prefer these over that for just going places, going to worship service, something like that. I feel like pretty much everywhere that I go, I would be okay wearing these. Most of the time I'm home though, and so as you know, I like to wear my satin slippers. That's what I prefer. And then if I'm going walking, like with my dad tonight, I'll put on my tennis shoes, my Skechers. I also have some of those Apartment 9 ones that I purchased on Poshmark. I also have them in a cream color, which actually matches this because this is not a bright white. This is like an off-white, and the I think they call them mules. Is that what you would call this style? Is a mule, a kitten heel mule. So anyway, I would like to find these in more of a nude color, but not, nudes are very, they don't work well for every color. Let's just say that. I am very particular about the nude color that I would go with, because it can't be too olive tone or else it looks really bad against my skin. It has to have a little bit more blush in it for me to feel like I can wear it and that it would look good with me. So I would love to find, I've been on the hunt for something like that, that looks like this and that is in about this size heel. Now, let's talk about the heel part. The heel part, I don't know if you've noticed, but some of the heels today have more of a square base to it, which is actually not too bad when you're walking, because I find that I get stuck less when I wear the square heels, but I actually prefer the daintier heel myself. These were just beautiful and perfect. I like the way that it goes in. I'm gonna see if it goes in like that as opposed to straight down. Those are some little things that I look for, but when I wear heels like this, I have to make sure that I don't step on a crack. And that saying, don't step on a crack or you'll break your mama's back, I think that's for mothers, because I think they're teaching children that young, because I say that in my mind all the time, and especially if I do step in a crack, I regret it. And I feel like I could have broken my back. So anyway, don't step on a crack if you're wearing heels. So that's what I prefer. I know that sometimes it can be difficult, especially if you have foot problems, to wear anything like what I am sharing with you, but I wear my house slippers most of the time, but when I go out, I do choose to wear a kitten heel about 90% of the time. So maybe that will change as I get older. I also don't mind wearing flats. It kind of just depends on what it is that I'm wearing. And then there are certain dresses I feel that you can give it more of a sporty look. I wouldn't do it with a dress like this, but there are other dresses that I could definitely pair with tennis shoes and feel pretty good in. I do find that I choose the same ones over and over again. If you find a really good neutral shoe, it should be able to go with so many different dresses that you may have, which brings me to the dress of the day, which is by Mellow Day. This is a beautiful floral dress that I purchased in the early spring, or it was like the end of the winter months, and it was just so cheerful to me, so pretty. I love the tinsel fabric that it was made out of, and it has this sheer overlay to it. Usually I would not go for a floral print this large. I feel that it kind of competes with my features, but it reminded me of the beautiful peonies that I love so much, much like the ones sitting here on my dressing table that are real and that I found at Albertsons today. But anyway, this dress just flows beautifully. I like the ruffles on what there are of the sleeves, and I think that it just adds that charm to this dress that I love so much. And this dress isn't a dress that I would want to wear all the time, I would say. It's one of those kind of like a special occasion dress. Maybe I want to wear it on a date, or I definitely brought it with me when I went on a cruise, and just when I'm in one of those moods where I'm just feeling, feeling playful, and where I just want it to really be fun and cheerful. I'm not always fun and cheerful. No, it's just something that isn't like what I normally like to wear, but it's still very beautiful to me and something that I could wear. I just have to be in the right mood to wear it. There are so many different places that one could wear a dress like this, whether it is a garden party or a ladies' brunch, or even to worship service. This would definitely be something I would wear. I might end up putting a shawl over it, of course, but it is such a fun dress and very elegant and pretty in my opinion. So such an eye-catching dress like that definitely requires something a little more understated, I would say, but to have some heels really elevates the dress, and then too, it can also be worn with some flats. So I just feel that there are so many options available, and it really comes down to maybe the length of the dress, whatever kind of look you are going for. Sometimes when you're looking in the mirror, you think something may be off, and sometimes that would just be either your hairstyle or the shoes that you would be wearing, and more often than not it may be the shoes. So kind of try things out. That's what I try to do for myself. I try different colors out. I will try cream. I will try white. Sometimes white may be too bright for whatever white I'm wearing, or whatever cream color it is. Sometimes it's just the slightest variation, and that's why I tend to reach more for the nudes. It reminds me so much of being a ballerina, and just the look that is so beautiful with elongating the legs and drawing more attention to the dress, I would say. So that's my preference, but to each her own. Today's dressing space comes from Sherry. She says, here's a picture of my dressing table. I was given it over 30 years ago by a nice neighbor I instantly hit it off with. I've decorated it with these girls from the 60s, a fond childhood memory of mine. They were given to me by some of my favorite women. I enjoy getting ready for the day here, looking out my window and centering myself with love. Thank you for that message. It has served me well. Sherry, I really love your dressing table, and I noticed that you have these beautiful rose pulls for the knobs, which I think is just lovely and really adds to the charm of this dressing table that you were gifted, which is so nice. And then, of course, these vintage pieces that you have. This is something that I definitely know from shopping so many different vintage shops. And of course your tray is beautiful, and that perfume bottle is so pretty. I'm drawn to perfume bottles, and the one there on the very right is something that I could see just putting right here on my dressing table. And I see that you have a frame of a kitten right there. That must be your cat. It is so cute. And also the view that you have out your window, that is something to behold right there. That is beautiful. So I can see why you would want to sit there and center yourself. It's such a lovely space, and I love what you did with it. Thank you so much, Sherry, for sharing your space with us. It really means a lot to me. And for those of you who have sent in your photos, thank you so much. I do have a few spaces left, so if you have yet to send in a picture, I really hope that you will. You can email me at inspiredbynikkiyt@gmail.com. All of the information that you would need to know and the requirements are in my description box below, and I hope that you will take the time to read that before sending your picture my way. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I really hope that something in today's video inspired you in some way, and that you will choose beauty every day.